Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I am here to share with you 5 ways that I hold myself accountable when it comes to my goals. I get this question a lot. How do you stay motivated? How do you stay accountable? How do you accomplish all the goals that you set out to accomplish? The first thing I'm gonna tell you, and this is not number 1, this is just a spoiler alert, I don't accomplish every goal that I set out to, but if I can just get a little bit closer to it than I was yesterday, that's enough for me, and that's what I try to focus on. But today I'm gonna give you 5 things that I try to make sure I remember when I'm setting and working on my goals. The first one is to track it. I have found that if I don't have a place that I write it down and track the progress that I'm making on that goal, whether it's something that I do every day or something that I just wanna get done once, it doesn't happen. I have to have a place where I hold myself accountable to preferably a written piece of paper, not even like on my Apple Watch that I'm not even wearing. Like, that's not even enough for me. I need to go copy those stats or check it off somewhere else, whether that's in a planner, in my power sheets, or even in a notebook somewhere. I am way more likely to do something if I'm tracking it somewhere else. The other reason tracking is so powerful for me is it reminds me that that's a goal. One of the biggest reasons that I don't accomplish a goal is because I forget about it, because I forget that I set that goal. So by tracking it and checking in with it somewhere consistently, I am way more likely to do it. The second one is that I try to set realistic goals. And I say try because it doesn't always happen. If you watch my goals videos, you know that there are times that I set super ambitious goals and then completely flop. That's okay. So for the most part, I try to set goals that are realistic given my schedule, within my current environment, within my current season of life, because I know that if they're more realistic, I will be much more likely to accomplish them, and it's much easier to hold myself accountable. If I set a goal that is so unrealistic that it just doesn't even feel attainable, I won't even try. Like, I won't even get part of the way there. Like, if I went from where I'm at now and I said, I'm gonna cut all wine out of my life completely, that to me, for my personal life, is so unrealistic that it would last like a day. But what I can do is say, okay, well, I'm only going to have wine this many days each week. And that is much more realistic, and I'm tracking it somewhere. It's way more likely to happen, and therefore a lot easier to hold myself accountable. Number 3 is to stop doing it if it's not working. There are a lot of goals that I set that just don't end up working for me for one reason or another. And maybe it's just not the right time, or maybe it's not the right goal for me, but just because I try something and it doesn't work doesn't mean that I failed. It just means that I found one way that I'm not going to achieve that goal, and that's okay. So it's easier for me to hold myself accountable when I know that I'm only working on it through a certain amount of time. And if I get to the end, for me, it's typically a month and it's not working, okay, well then I'm gonna change my mind and I'm gonna do something different. But I try to at least hold myself accountable for that short period of time, do my best, and then know that I can change it when I get to the end. That's one of the reasons I've loved incorporating the quarterly goal setting to my goal life this year. It allows me to focus for that one quarter and know that whether it worked or it didn't work, I can pivot at the end of the quarter. All right, number 4, it's gonna sound super cheesy. Remember your why. Remember why you set this goal. And if you didn't set the goal for a good why, try to find it, dig deep, and keep asking yourself why. I try to have the mindset of like a toddler who's trying to learn. Have you ever sat there with a toddler and they ask you a question, you give them an answer and they say, but why? And then you give them another answer and they say, but why? And you repeat that process and it continues on forever. Do that with your goals. Why did you set this goal? Okay, that's a decent reason, but why that? And try to go deeper. But why that? And try to dig a little bit deeper and see if you can really find the root reason that that goal is important to you. And that's the reason that you need to remember when things are tough and you need to hold yourself accountable. And don't get me wrong, I am completely guilty of forgetting the why all the time. The alarm goes off in the morning, I hit the snooze button, and then I roll out of bed and get to my desk 5 minutes before work starts, and I didn't do any of my morning routine, I didn't move my body, I didn't do anything, and I just completely forgot why those goals are important to me. I am still working on a system that reminds me of the why, and I haven't come up with a good one yet, and I will definitely share it with you when I do, but I know that when I do remind myself of the why, and when the why is bigger than just like because a morning routine is good for you, Like, that's not a good enough reason to get me out of bed in the morning. I don't know about you, but I need something a little bit more. So then I try to dig a little bit deeper and find the real reason why. And maybe the real reason is so that I can do my morning pages, get all that gunk out of my brain. That way my head is clear when I sit down to do my 9-to-5 job. That way I get my work done efficiently and I'm done by 5 instead of working later, which I have been doing recently. And then I have my evening time to actually work on projects and things that I'm excited about. And then I have time to relax and enjoy my evening before the next day starts. Like, it's all this one big domino effect, it feels like. So I have to really remember the reason why when something comes up that I don't want to do. Number 5 is to have accountability. For me, that's you. Knowing that I have you, that I sit here and talk about goals, has me work on my goals. Now, not all of them, and I'm not perfect all the time, but I will tell you that I am way more likely to do things when I know I'm gonna post a picture of it on the internet. So you are my accountability. In return, I wanna be accountability for you. And that is why I am finally creating the Plan with Laken community. I've dropped a few hints about this in other videos, my quarterly goals video and a Lattes with Laken live one time, but I am excited to officially announce the launch of the Plan with Laken community. I have had so many requests to have a Facebook group, to create a Patreon, to create more specific content, to do more one-on-one interactions, to have more lives, all kinds of things. And so I am gonna bring it to you. So I'm going to start it with a Patreon because having that structure already in place just makes everything so much easier. And I know a lot of you already support other creators on Patreon. And so I'm excited to bring that to you. My main focus for this group, for this community, is accountability. That's my biggest focus. I want to help hold you accountable to the things that you want to accomplish. And they can be totally different things. I want to be able to support you through all of the goals that you have through this community. So go over to Patreon. You can see all of the different options. Right now, I'm keeping it very simple because I don't know exactly what you need yet. I have tons of ideas, tons of things that I want to bring to you, but for now, we're gonna keep it pretty simple with the tiers within Patreon. If you've never heard of Patreon, by the way, it's a website that allows you to support creators that you love and get additional content from them. It's not just YouTube, it's artists, it's bands. There are all kinds of creators over on Patreon who provide additional content to people that want to get more from the creators that they love. So go check out the link below if you are interested in signing up. If you have any questions or any recommendations, feedback, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to hear it. And that is gonna be it for this video. I'm so excited, also a little bit nervous, but thank you for encouraging me and thank you for all of your support always. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Happy planning.